Hello, this is High Templar, welcome to my Total War Warhammer news video, and this one will be about the Norscan army roster. Norsca is a new DLC that will be available for Total War Warhammer and is also a pre-order bonus for Warhammer 2. But you can listen all about it and the faction itself in my previous video. Now let's go through the roster, and as you can see, it is looking amazing. So, basically we have pick of two legendary lords. One is more Norscan focused, so this is Wulfing the Wanderer, and he will have bonus melee attack for the mammoths, and all marauders reduce upkeep, and all his army will be causing fear, and he will have magical attack, far-reaching wind attack. So pretty interesting foe indeed, pretty interesting lord indeed. If you will be facing him, he will be hard to fight. The other one is a Trog who is not really Norscan, but is a Troll King. And he is a very tough guy. He has regeneration. He is a powerful melee fighter, quite obviously. He will bring reduced upkeep to troll units and ice troll units, quite obviously. He will make Trog's army immune to all forms of attrition, much like Durtu. He will grant physical resistance to all trolls, not only his army but faction-wide. And we will get additional bonus to troll units if we build a unique building that is in Troll Country. And this is Cave of Rocky Throne, but we don't know what buff would that be. And also Trog has missile attack, which is called Copious Vomit, so yeah, like other trolls you can imagine. Let's go through the lords. Mount options. The Wulfric will have Chaos Steed, Marauder Chariot and War Mammoth. So yes, he will be able to get a Mammoth, which is absolutely amazing and little scary, to be frank. The Trog will have nothing, which makes him a lot less interesting, a lot less powerful, very immediately. Now, you will have also Melee Lord, which is Marauder Chieftain, and you will be able to specialize him in, basically different skill trees, and from what I hear, they will be mutually exclusive, so you pick one or you pick the other. And his options would also be, for mount, would be also Chaos Steed, Marauder Chariot and War Mammoth. Quite amazing. Then we have a caster hero who is Shaman Sorcerer. So pretty much Chaos Mage. He will have options of, from what I remember, Fire, Metal and Death. And his mounts would be also Chaos Steed and Marauder Chariot. We will have a melee hero who will have he is a Skinwolf Werkin, so very powerful monster hero, very nice unit indeed. He might be one of the most powerful melee heroes yet. He's on foot only, obviously. And we have finally kind of a caster hero, but it was also mentioned he can fight. He's a little bigger than a man. He can fight, he will have some options, so he's more like a hybrid hero, which is very cool. Also only on foot, he's a Fimir Belfiend, and we will see more Fimirs soon. Now for your rank and file infantry, will have Marauders. Marauders Spearmen, yes, we will have Spearmen, which is very important because monsters, quite obviously, and cavalry. This was something that was lacking, and I rejoice that we will have Marauder Spearmen. Then we will have Marauders with great weapons and Marauder Berserkers, which would be not really tough guys, like they can really deal damage, but not much of staying power. Then we have Axe and Shield Infantry, Marauder Champions, and finally Marauder Champions with great weapons, which would be sturdy infantry, much more armor on them, but I would imagine not quite as much as the Chaos Warriors. And then we have two different hunter options. I mean, skirmisher options. This will be throwing axes skirmishers and javelin skirmishers. Now, this is very interesting because throwing axes, I would imagine, like every other throwing axes, will have armor piercing, whereas javelin skirmishers will have anti-large. And you have to remember that anti-large bonus is also armor piercing. So we have javelins like we had in Rome, which is quite amazing. They will be dealing a lot of damage to this cavalry and a lot of damage to those monsters. Quite interesting, especially because if you've seen my previous video, we will have a lot of slowing skills. We will have lots of this frostbite mechanics that will allow you to stop the monsters or slow down the monsters, so you can cushion point them with all those javelins and axes. Alright, then we have spear chariots, which will be the marauder chariot, and the spear cav, which will be the marauder horseman. So yes, we will have an actual spear cavalry, but we will also have throwing axes, skirmisher cavalry, and we will also have horse masters. Now I do imagine those guys are exactly, those three guys are exactly the same, so the spear cavalry is actually javelin throwing cavalry, but that would have to be confirmed, right? But yeah, it would seem that all those guys are just normal Chaos Warriors, skirmishers that we already know and love. Well, we love some of them at least. Then we have Marauder Werewolf Chariot, which is a hybrid chariot. It shoots, it can also, those wolves can also get into the troops of the enemy, but it would be a mid-tier unit, so you know, interesting, but maybe not a sure choice to have in each army. And then we have beasts, which would be the warhounds, and then things are starting to be interesting. We have Marauder Werewolves, and that is something that I would really like to see. We already seen them in here in the image, where, well, not in this one, in previous one, when there was both warhounds and werewolves visible on the Norsca Q&A graphics in the same blog. We have Monstrous Infantry of the Norscan Trolls and Firmid Trolls and Norscan Ice Trolls. I mean Firmid Warriors and Norscan Ice Trolls. So what are those? Well, Norscan Trolls are pretty much trolls, but they will have rage mechanics. And the rage mechanics will make them obviously go crazy, but also will make them hit harder and be stronger in time. They will get stronger in time, and this is interesting because the trolls have regeneration, so you can, you know, put them in rage, but at some point get them back to regenerate, and then even stronger they can attack again. That is something that was suggested during the blog. That might be quite an interesting tactics. Female Warriors is a Monstrous Infantry, and that is a new species. That is actually 3rd edition species from the tabletop, one of the very old ones. Quite a nice addition. We don't know much about them except that they would be able to stand their ground. And then we have Norscan Ice Trolls, which I've mentioned already before. They will be doing this frostbite, and they will be doing this. They will be making a vomit attack, but it will be ice shards. It will be doing frostbite as well. For the flying monsters, we'll have Feral Manticore, which we know and love. And then we have even more Monstrous Infantry with female warriors with great weapons. So quite interesting indeed. And then we have 2 different skin wolves. Now, about skin wolves we know a lot more. Skin wolves, just normal skin wolves, will be lightly armored. They will be anti-large. They will be non-armor piercing. They will be potentially making a lot of damage, but they should be not put against armored infantry because that would be bad. But they will be fast, and I would assume something along the lines of the War Dancers, because they said almost like a cavalry unit. So you know, normal knights have 66 and the war dancers have 50, so I would say something along those lines. Then we have Monstrous infantry that is skin wolves armored, which will be obviously having more armor but will be a lot slower. We'll have Norsca giant, which will be pretty much the same, I assume, as other giants. We will have also a feral mammoth, which is anti-infantry and very very powerful, but also very low morale because nobody is riding it. So you have to be very very careful about this one, but potentially very very powerful. And then we have flying monster in the Frostworm, who will also be doing lots of frostbite, and I assume he looks similarly like a Chaos Dragon. I would assume he will be weaker, but at the same time doing a frostbite, and he will be quite formidable because of that. Then we have War Mammoth, which is, I mean, having a lot of damage, having some guys on it that will be throwing javelins, that will be anti-large, and at the same time be able to hit the infantry, quite a monstrous beast, and I do believe one of the best units, or it would seem one of the best units we have so far in the Warhammer, Total War Warhammer. And finally War Mammoth with the Chaos Shrine. We don't know much about it yet. And yeah, this is pretty much it. It looks like very interesting, very full roster with lots of things, but also focused on something. We do not have heavy cavalry of any sort. Our anti-large units are very specialized, so it's not like they have everything, which is good. They have very limited armored stuff. And I do love it. I do love this roster, and I do love what is Creative Assembly doing lately with their game. Actually, I loved their work from the very beginning. Now it's just getting better. So, this is it. Thank you for watching. Hope you like it. If you did, press like, comment if you will, and see my other videos. In Total War Warhammer, I'm doing mod reviews, DLC analysis and speculation videos, but also let's plays in Total War series and other games. Thank you for watching, and see you later.